Friday, people. Welcome back to the Fumble Live, and thank you for tuning in. We have a great show lined up for you guys. We're talking about Chris Paul and the Western Conference, and I like his take on things. We're also getting into some details about the play-in tournament and an exciting matchup that we're going to be seeing between the Warriors and the Grizzlies. But before we dive into the news, subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up, and leave a comment below. Here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter @JRayTheFanatic.
Now, you guys, today's the day. It's Fannerfo Friday. So we are very excited to name our fan of the week again this week. We'll be getting into that at the end of the show. But first, we got to give you the lowdown on the news. Lots of fun things to talk about. We've got a LeBron commercial coming up. We've got a Bleacher brawl. And I want to hear about what Jackie has to say about all of that. I'm really looking forward to that. Before we dive in, really quickly, Jackie, any fun plans for the weekend?
Nope. Just finishing my apartment. That's about it.
You know what?
It's so dull. It's so dull. Oh, but I might go out for drinks tonight, though. I forgot about that because I'm also working in Long Beach, too. So after work over there, I don't really know a lot about Long Beach, but everyone tells me they have an amazing happy hour, and it's like from 6 to 9. So maybe tonight, I've never had a happy hour go that long. So if that's true, I'll be in Long Beach tonight until 9 o'clock.
Oh my gosh, that would be fun. Long Beach is super fun to go out in, so I think that sounds like a good time. Okay, let's jump into the news here. Let's talk about Chris Paul. So he gave some really nice praise to LeBron James and Steph Curry during his post-game interview with Charles Barkley following the Suns' win over the Blazers. So the Trailblazers and the Suns faced off last night, and it was definitely one of the more important games of the regular season. It's feeling like with each game that we're seeing as we inch closer and closer to the postseason and that play-in tournament, everything feels like it's weighted very heavily here. The playoff implications of this game were huge, of course, because a win for the Blazers would mean that they would solidify themselves as a top 6 seed. So following the win over the Trailblazers, Chris Paul talked with Charles Barkley, and Charles Barkley asked Chris Paul about having to potentially deal with a team like the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs. As we've talked about, that's not the kind of thing you're expecting for the first round of the playoffs. You don't expect to go up against LeBron James and a team like the Lakers. So I have a clip of what he said. Leo, when you get a second, can you throw that up there for us?
See, you kind of get an easier game. This year is going to be, you guys could play the Lakers in the first round. You could play the Warriors in the first round.
Man, Chuck, I hate to cut you off, man, but I've been in the West my whole career. West ain't never been easy. I don't care who you playing, what series it is, what game it is. You know what I mean? I played in New Orleans, you know, when I was in that division with Memphis, Houston, with Yao and T-Mac, and Dallas when they was nice with Dirk and Stackhouse and all them. The West always been a beast. So if you try to match up with somebody else, you can still get it handed to you.
So he's not surprised that the Western Conference is as tough as it is right now. He's used to all of that, and he is definitely onto something. It's interesting, especially when you look at this season, because with the standings in the East and the West, the team who's the number 3 in the West, I'm getting this all confused. So the number 4 Eastern Conference team has the same record as the Lakers, who are number 7, and then the number, I think, 1 team in the East has the same record as number 3 team in the West. My notes got a little jumbled here, so now I can't remember exactly what they are. But the Eastern Conference and Western Conference standings are not like even. They're not lining up exactly there. So why do you think there is such a difference in the conferences? Like there is this stark difference between the teams in either conference.
I mean, it's always been like that. I mean, just so you know, the 76ers right now are 47-23, and the Clippers are 47-23. So they, you know, they're 76ers are first place in the East, Clippers are third place in the West, and it's always been like that because when LeBron was playing, you guys know, everything falls to LeBron for me. But when LeBron was in the East, everyone was like, "Oh, he can't win in the West. He can't win in the West." So while I was I didn't really want him to leave Cleveland because I like that whole fan atmosphere, but I understood it because you have to go to the West and prove that you can win in the more difficult conference. So I definitely respect Chris Paul for saying this. I can't figure out the reason why, but it's always been like that. And it's not just the NBA, the NFL, the NFC has typically been a harder conference than the AFC. It's just, for some reason, it just always plays out like that. So I respect Chris so much for just pointing that out and saying, yo, you're asking me if I'm afraid to go up against guys. I'm from the West. This is West Side over here. I've lived this my whole career. I know how difficult it is. And I know when you sleep on a certain team, that all of a sudden that team becomes relevant. Clippers learned that last year with Denver. So it's just one of those situations where the West the West needs to be won, and that's always going to be kind of the focus. I think when you get people like KD and things like that going to the East, it changes the narrative a little bit, but still the Brooklyn Nets are 46-24, and that's not even, they're in second place. So it's just a little bit different. And even last season, when we were looking at the play-in last season, the reason why we cared about the play-in last season was because of the West, because it was so tight in the West. In the East, it was like already decided. It was just like, okay, we're going to do the play-in because we have to. But it wasn't a very tight situation where you wanted to make sure everyone had an opportunity. The West it's just about that life. I don't have a reason for it, but it's always been like that.
Well, I agree. I like the way Chris Paul answered that, where he's like, this is how it's always been. This is what I'm used to. This is my experience. So this is no surprise at all. I mean, yes, like we said, going up against the Lakers in the first round is kind of wild. Going up against LeBron James, I guess I should say, in the first round. But yeah, I mean, it has always been more competitive over here in the West. So then with that in mind, do you think the teams who have made it to the number 1, 2, and 3 seed in the Western Conference should be more proud of how far they've been able to come and the challenges that they've been able to overcome?
That's a good. I mean, they should be proud for sure, but they can't be so proud that they all of a sudden forget that they're in the West, because like I said, it's any team's. I mean, it's getting to the playoffs is one thing, surviving the playoffs is another. And so like Chris said, at any moment you can switch off on a guy and now you're in an entirely different situation. So this is the ladder. It's just a ladder run. The regular season is just a ladder run to get through the playoffs. Then you got to get through the playoffs, but you can't sleep. I think when you go in the East, you can kind of say, all right, I think this team is going to win this one and this team is going to win that one. And you can be for sure about it. But just look at the difference in the conversation we're having, even about the Warriors from the beginning of the season till now. It's just a different, it's the West is just the place to be. So for LeBron to come over here again and win the West, I saw you in the chat, Stay Mad said he didn't win in the West. I don't know what you was doing last season, but he already got that ring in the West and he's going to get another one before he retires. But you go ahead and stay mad. So just so you know, but it's one of those things where I think when you're in the West, you do have that understanding. You don't walk into any game thinking it's a cakewalk, thinking that it's a given that you won. You go in there knowing that you have to still play really good basketball. And I think, unfortunately, the Clippers didn't do that. I think last year the Clippers thought we're the team to beat, so they kind of let their guard down a little bit, and that's what got the best of them. But if they can keep that mindset that, hey, I have to go into every single game knowing that this team came to beat me and really battle it out, then again, we're back to it's anybody's ball game. So I think the West is a beautiful thing like that.
Sorry, needed to unmute there. Took me a second. Yeah, the Clippers, it's funny how the Clippers, I feel like, are just never going to be able to live last season down. And even the conversation that we had yesterday about the Lakers and the Nets maybe struggling with chemistry issues going into the postseason since James Harden was out for so long, LeBron was out for so long. And we don't feel like with the Lakers there's any concern with chemistry. But also we saw with the Clippers in the regular season last year, they had great chemistry, it seemed like, but that obviously fell apart in the playoffs. So it's funny with the Clippers because they just were this experiment that we had such high expectations and then it never ended up following through or falling through for them. But that's a whole different conversation altogether. It's just funny how we continue to bring them up like that. But yeah, I mean, the play-in tournament, even though it's been the subject of criticism quite a bit, I think is definitely upping the ante a little bit as we come to the end of the season, and it makes things very exciting. And actually, that's the perfect segue into our next Need to Know news topic, so let's talk about it. Like I just said, people have been highly critical of the play-in tournament. We even had LeBron say that the person who decided to do it this season should be fired, but it is making things just feel a lot more high stakes, especially because of these potential matchups that we're going to be seeing, like with the Golden State Warriors and with the Lakers, and it just makes everybody want to tune in and see what happens. But the Warriors are in an interesting position here because they kind of have to make a play-in to get into the play-in, in a way, in a sense. So Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies pulled off a major comeback win against the Sacramento Kings, and they kept themselves in the running to steal that 8th seed back from the Warriors. So that sets up a really high-stakes match between the Warriors and the Grizzlies. So Steph and Ja will be coming face-to-face for the first time, actually, since Steph missed a lot of the season last year. He hasn't been able to play against Ja. So that game goes down on Sunday, and it'll determine who is sitting in that number 8 spot. And it's cool because the Warriors obviously have this finals history. Like, they've been there before. They know what it takes. They have a championship athletes on their team, but then Ja and the Grizzlies have been in the play-in before. They were in it last season, so they know what that experience is like, and it's just going to kind of come down to which point guard ends up pulling up for his team in the best way, I guess. So who do you think is going to win the battle between the Warriors and the Grizzlies? Is there any question that it'll be one of them, Jackie? Or which one it'll be, I guess I should say?
I mean, I've been on several platforms and said that I think the Warriors, the Lakers are going to end up with the 7th seed, and the Warriors are going to end up with the number 8 seed. So I obviously have them surviving this play-in. I think we've done a lot of questioning of, can Steph be the guy that holds up this franchise? And I think the deeper and the closer we get to the playoffs, the more he's proving that, hey, I'm a marathon runner. I'm not a sprinter. I'm not going to give y'all all the best of me off top. I'm going to get there slowly but surely. So I think that he is going to continue to level up all the way through. Now, we'll have to have a different conversation. I got to see how they look in the play-in, and then we can have a conversation about how far I think they'll go in the playoffs. But it's just not a question to me. It's fun to see Steph carry this pressure the way that he's carrying it. He's carrying it with a smile on his face. He's carrying it even though he'll have some trash nights where he is 13 or 3 for 13 from beyond the arc, and then like 11 for 25 or something like that from the field. He's still going to shoot. And so that's the thing. Michael Jordan always said that you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So he don't care if he only makes 3 shots. He's going to take those shots. And as long as his team can stay, they can maintain the course and not get down by more than 6. If he makes 3 of those shots, then now all of a sudden they're in a contention to win. So as long as his team can maintain until he gets on that streak, then I think they'll be fine. The problem is if they can't maintain, or if he doesn't get on that streak, then it's a problem, because he is going to be the one who either wins or loses that game for them.
Yep, I agree with you on that one. So that'll be an interesting one. Like I said, that game goes down on Sunday, and very high stakes, a very intense matchup. But you guys, let's wrap up Need to Know news. Let's get into the post up. We have a lot of good stuff coming up. So Jackie, take it away.
Yes, I am ready to get into this post up because some of this, I can't wait to get to this one that Devin was talking about. But we're not gonna start there because I am not mad at this first one at all. I get it. But Dwight Howard has been a bully in the past. He's kind of reformed. He's a new Dwight Howard, but not that much, because Giannis got into the game. He did his thing for exactly 2 minutes, and then it was all over. But I was here for every piece of those 2 minutes. But check out this tweet because I love this. It says, "Tremendous stuff here. 40-year-old Miami Heat legend Giannis Aslam makes his season debut only to get ejected after 2 minutes of play for an altercation with Dwight Howard." Let me tell you something. They should not have ejected that man, because Dwight earned every piece of that enraged Giannis. Take a look at this.
with red-hot shooting.
This is great because these two teams potentially could see one another in the second round. See, first of all, Howard throws him to the ground here on this as they got tangled up for a rebound. And now here's the words between Haslam, and there's the point. May have been contact, yeah.
Yep, he's gone.
I love the head nod. You got one more time to put I'm a grown ass man. Don't you put your hands on me like that. I noticed what he said. I just noticed what he said. And I was here for every piece of it. 2 minutes and then I'm done. I actually love that poor guy though. I did want to shout out real quick. I saw we got $5 in the chat. Oh, it passed me by though. I didn't see who gave it. Oh, here we go. 805 Hiking said, I love seeing these two gorgeous faces talking sports smarter and more knowledgeable than most other sports media. We love you. See, look, I'm just going to put you in contention for fan of the week. And I don't even know if you're in there. So yay for you. Devin, Devin, what did you think seeing that exchange? I definitely don't think Udonis should have got thrown out for that because Dwight deserved that strong talking too.
Wait, but what my question is why didn't Dwight get ejected from the game, or why didn't he get hit with a technical? He literally threw him to the ground. So I feel like the refs made the wrong call here. They sent the wrong guy packing.
Yeah, I mean, I think what happened is Dwight did it real quick and then ran away. So when I was playing basketball, my coach used to say that because she's like the one that runs away first doesn't get the technical. The one that stays and kind of manifests in that anger, that's the one that gets technical. So when he stayed down on the ground and you saw him have that thought of, oh, okay, that's what we doing? Okay. That's why, because it was premeditated is what it was. And I think that is hilarious. But one Twitter user said that she saw it coming from right off the top. She posted this to her Twitter, or his Twitter. He says, knew some stuff was going down as soon as Udonis checked in and put in a serious box out on Dwight. Wait for the smile. So let me show you this little video in slow motion because you can see Dwight's like, okay, want to get handsy? Let's get in. the sound though. But you know, Dwight is that guy. Dwight is he's a fun guy. He likes to play, but he also likes to start some stuff. He likes to start some stuff, and I get it. I mean, I still think Udonis should have played some more, but when they match up again, that man better be in there, and he better get some payback. That's all I want is get some payback. All right, let's go on to this next one because I have to say that today was the first time in my entire life, I mean, outside of being a child and my mother waking me up, that I did not hit the snooze button. And I have to say I owe it to King James because I saw this Mountain Dew commercial yesterday, and I was like, I want to be like LeBron James. Let me just get up. It was difficult, but I did it. But take a look at this commercial. I absolutely love it.
Who would I be if I snoozed? Skip the practice here and there.
Order for LeBron?
If I lost sight of my goals, that's me. If I let myself get distracted, I might have been LeBron James. Salsa King? I choose to rise. To push myself to the limit. To tell stories and empower all creators. To uplift communities so that every kid has a chance to achieve their dreams. And also keep up with my own kids. But what else? Math, I got a great idea. Mountain Dew Rise Energy. The morning makes you.
There's my king. Oh, yeah. Y'all clap. If y'all ain't clapping, I need y'all to put your hands. Clap for the king. That was beautiful. First of all, one thing I know for sure is even if he had been regular LeBron James having to go to a public laundromat, which is tragic, and no one should have to go to a public laundromat, but I would still be going to that salsa class. I would still be dwelling in the kingdom. If that salsa class was anywhere around me, I would be there. I was so here for this commercial. I swear to God, I watched it on repeat. If you go look at this commercial on YouTube, however many views it has, just know that 250 of them are from me because I was just watching that on repeat. I was like, look at my king. Oh, won't he do it? I'm so proud. But some people kind of slow, or maybe they just they don't know how production works, and they don't know how, branding, when you're talking about advertising, you want to get your commercial done really quickly, probably before you even finish a lot of the production of it. And then you want it to come out at a specific time. It's not hey, let me go shoot this commercial on Saturday and then it's going to come out the following Saturday. That's not what's going to happen. But perhaps this person did not know that. So let's go to this tweet. It says, this video of LeBron James dancing doesn't help his case of being injured. Why did the Lakers PR/public relations department let this video of LeBron James dance hit the public airwaves? Because they know not everybody is this slow. That's why. Because they know most people understand that it's a process. That's why. But thankfully, there was somebody out here who had some common sense. Oh, Vlad, I see you in the chat. Yes. Let me show that real quick. You got to applaud for King James. That's what I'm talking about. Let me get it. So this person got it. Says dancing, especially the way he is not stressful on the injury. You're really going to compare what he's doing in this video to running, jumping, and cutting. Give the guy a break. I don't know why y'all hate y'all love to hate on LeBron. I get it. People do that when it's a great athlete. But Devin, did this commercial didn't it just bring you joy? Or is that just me?
Oh no, I loved it. I love normie LeBron, like normal human LeBron. Funny to watch that in a laundromat, sitting in like a small 1,000 square foot house. You never expect that. Love Salsa LeBron. I think it's amazing and I really appreciate it. But the one thing that I find very amusing about this commercial, the message is great. The production is wonderful. LeBron looks great. He's extremely inspiring, but a man who spends $1 million a year on his body is not drinking Mountain Dew first thing in the morning. I can guarantee that. So that's what I find very funny about this whole thing.
I can guarantee you he's probably I'm probably like him, and he probably allows himself to have like one Mountain Dew or like one soda, maybe two a week. But it's definitely not first thing in the morning. It's definitely like, okay, I've had water, protein shakes, I've put all these nutrients in my body, and now I'll have a little bit of Mountain Dew. There's no way, especially at his age, with the pride that he takes in his body, it's not happening. But that's not going to stop me from getting this endorsement money, though. I'm going to make y'all think that I drink Mountain Dew first thing in the morning.
You all can drink Mountain Dew first thing in the morning. I'm not.
Right. Y'all do with this commercial what you want, but I'm going to get this money from this commercial. So, love all this. Y'all know we're going to spend some time with the king because I love him ever so. But this next one, I do not like at all because I know how this feels. When my best friend, I'll be seeing her posted up the street from me with other people. I'm like, how dare they be with my best friend? I don't like it. But I want you to take a look at this because we know that Boban and Tobias were best friends when they played for the Clippers, but things have changed now. I don't think Tobias likes it, but take a look at his new bestie.
Because he's got his BFF with him, Devin. Look at that, Bobby and Luca forever.
That's really cute. I love the pink and the blue together. I mean, they're a match made in heaven.
Oh, they sure. You're gonna get one of those, aren't you?
I'm going for the pink one.
Man, you can rock that. It'd be even better if they had the necklaces though, too. The BFFs. Lots of fun before the.
I would have been on the phone. Like, I'm sorry. Hello. Hey, I'm seeing. Is this your doppelganger? Because it's saying that you got a new best friend. I'm on my way. That's how that would have been. Like, I would have been so irritated by this. And look, Tobias was. At least it looks like he was. This is how he responded to that. Like this too far. It's too far. You can say we're good friends, but y'all got shirts. I don't like it. Devin, am I being petty? Because I don't like this.
No, you're not being petty. They don't even act like best friends. They look awkward up there together. They don't seem like they're besties. They don't seem as close as Toby and Bobby are. So I'm a little confused by this. If anybody needed the matching sweatshirts, it's Toby and Bobby. It's not Bobby and Luca.
And you just got the commentator saying, "Oh, they're a match made in heaven." Like I just don't exist. Oh no, I would have been so mad about that. Whew, let me calm down because I had to tell my best friend, I'm like, I need you to stop posting pictures talking about hanging with the bestie. Like other people are tagging it. You need to tell them to untag you in that. You're not their bestie. You're my bestie. I'd be mad.
You know what's so funny? My best friend is the same way. She's like a social butterfly and has all of these really good girlfriends. And I'm like, these gals need to know that I'm number one. You can't let them forget it. So please settle down on the whole bestie conversation because I come first.
Yeah, you need to tell them to change that to hashtag good friend. This isn't BF. What? Stop. I'd be getting so mad. She'd be like, girl, calm down. I'm like, I will not. Anyway. Now y'all know a little bit about me, but let's go on to this next one because we just have to. Now, this to me is the power of LeBron James because we heard him talk a while ago that he really likes to instill in guys that, hey, this is great. Play as long as you can, do the best that you can for as long as you can, but you need to understand that Father Time, especially now that he's getting older, he tries to instill in guys, you have to start thinking about life after basketball. So I don't know. I want to hear what Devin and you guys in the chat think about this one. But from this tweet from Kyle Kuzma, I think he's starting to think about possibly going into broadcast journalism and being a sports, analyst or something like that, because just the wording of this is perfect. He says, Los Angeles Lakers forward Jared Dudley may make his return to play this weekend as the team travels to Indy and New Orleans for their final push of the season, league sources tell me. That sounded like Woj. I was like, come on, Kuz. Devin, what do you think about this?
We have seen several former NBA athletes make the seamless transition from NBA player to NBA commentator. We've seen others struggle with it. Like, you know what? Shaq sometimes struggles with it because we can hardly ever understand what he's saying, and he says some really bizarre stuff. We saw Clay do the sideline reporting that didn't turn out very well because he got a little too invested.
I like the Clay sideline. I really like the Clay sideline because he was just himself. He wasn't trying to be all, like, okay, what we have now. Like, I love that.
Let's really try and picture Kuz in this situation, though. This is a guy that showed up to a couple of his post-game interviews shirtless, and wasn't he drunk one time? I don't remember. I can't remember if that actually happened or not, or if I'm just imagining something. Right. Yeah.
But, with his attire, though, you guys have to forgive me because he's such a legend. I'm just having a total brain fart. But the guy that passed away that always wore the super gaudy jackets, and he would do the post-game interviews. Come on, Kevin, if you're in the chat. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. But Clay could easily replace him because he wears the gaudy and then the hair, so he can take it one level up. I'm gonna wear the gaudy clothes and I'm gonna have the ramen noodle blonde hair. Like, it's a win-win. So I don't know. I totally can see him do it. This is the most. These last 2 days are probably the most compliments I've ever given Kyle Kuzma. So
I know.
Yay, Kyle.
I'm really shocked. I hope Kuz is listening because this is a big moment for you, Jackie.
It is. Oh, Craig Sager. Yes. Thank you, Leo. Leo came from the heavens and let me know who I was talking about. So yeah, remember the gaudy jackets that he would wear and everyone loved to talk to him? Totally see Kyle Kuzma being that guy in the future.
Yes, I just wonder if Kuz has the charisma to be on camera like that. You know what I mean? But then again, Shaq doesn't have charisma. So maybe it's fine. Maybe all we need is just somebody who knows the game, who's willing to offer an opinion, and who can dress up.
Shaq is just, his whole commentary, even when he's excited, sounds like, Kuz, I don't know. Because you can't do what I do because you don't have a G14, whatever the hell status he talking about. So it's always like he's got marbles in his mouth. But I do agree with this is it. He says, I think NBA stars can transition into sports commentators, but not all of them can do it. Oh, he says Kuz is a no. What?
I'm on the fence about Kuz.
Really? So it's just me?
Yeah.
I'm alone?
But because here's the thing, I'm super big on charisma on camera. Like, that's why I find Shaq hard to watch. And, I think Charles Barkley does a better job at it because I think he's a little bit more charismatic than than Shaq is. At least there's like a little bit of inflection in his voice, and you know what I mean? Like, it seems like he actually is.
But Charles doesn't know the meaning of half the words he uses. He just be grabbing random words out the sky and putting them together. I don't like it.
I mean, I can't argue with that.
Okay.
But, you know, yeah.
Go ahead. No.
Willing to see how it works. I'm not knocking Kuz as a reporter or commentator or, you know, host yet. It's not something I would co-sign on right now.
Well, Kristen says, it goes. Are you talking about commentating? Because he says number 1, Caruso, number 2, Kuzma, number 3, Jared Dudley. For commentating?
Caruso.
I mean, Alex Caruso is not, he'd be hard to light. And I'm not even trying to be funny, but he's so bright that depending on who's on either side of him, it'd be hard to get that light right. You got to get the right team of people around Caruso. But okay, all right, I'll let y'all have it. I don't know. I just knew Devin and everybody in the chat was gonna co-sign on this Kuzma thing, but you know, I've been wrong before. I guess I'll be wrong again. But let's go to this next one because thank you, Caleb. He says Kyle Kuzma is gonna be on ESPN after he retires. Hey, it's 2 of us. Thank you. All right, so let's go on to this next one because you know Giannis likes to crack jokes and whatnot, and I like when Giannis cracks jokes. I'm not gonna lie, he's a funny guy. His jokes are often quite corny, but you guys know I love the dad joke, so I'm here for it. The thing that I don't like about any joke is when you put poo in the joke. I don't like the poo jokes. I know you guys remember the whole James Harden and that whole debacle, and it took us weeks to get past that. I hate those kind of jokes, but I do like this picture. So Giannis posted this picture to his Instagram. Love the picture. Y'all know I love me some muscles. So this picture, you know, I like it. This is a great picture. You know, he's flexing the muscles. I don't like his caption though. It was his caption that kind of bothered me. He said, "I almost pooped." Giannis. I just don't think.
I don't like it either, but it's super funny that he did that. But I hate that. We hated the James Harden situation equally. Both hated it, and we kept getting brought up over and over again. Hated it. This is also, I have to say, I think it's funny that Giannis did this, but it is gross. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah, because now I can see it. So now when I look at that picture, I'm like, yep. But when I was originally scrolling Instagram and I saw the picture, I'm like, ooh, okay, Giannis. And then I read the caption. I was like, damn it, Giannis, I didn't need to. Because now you see it. Yes. I don't like it. But his brother commented on it too. I don't know if you guys saw that in the comments after he said, "I almost pooped." His brother's in there and he says, "I'm dead right now." Like, okay, all right. Congratulations on bringing up your personal business like that. I could have lived without it, but all right. So, let's go to this one because you know it's May, so. We had Mother's Day. What was it? Last weekend? Weekend before? Last weekend, I think. So it's just last weekend. So it's just Mother's Day month. I've just been seeing people kind of posting their Mother's Day shenanigans kind of late. So I've just been seeing a lot of stuff, and I love it because it's great. But this one kind of got to me because you know Devin talked about it a lot when we were talking about Mother's Day and Serge Ibaka getting his mom a house. And I was like, I'm surprised that she's surprised. And Devin said, you know, mothers, they give so much and they're just not used to receiving. But this time on now we're going to hear Juan Anderson's mom. We can hear the giving spirit. We can hear her just being so proud and so happy now that he signed this contract. So it's a beautiful thing. Take a look because I just love this.
Oh, what's up, Mom?
I just wanted to tell you that I'm so proud of you, son. I'm so glad that you never gave up. I'm just so happy that God has given you the desires of your heart. I've been praying for this for you. For God just makes you happy and gives you everything that you have so hard worked for.
I love you.
Ah, I almost got weepy. Like him hearing his mom, and it's just so beautiful. I love what she said. I'm so glad that God has given you the desires of your heart. That is such a big deal. So many people have to go through life doing things they don't want to do just to make ends meet. And so for his mom to really share this moment with him and say, I've been praying for you, I've been in your corner this whole time, and now you get to do the one thing you really get to do. This is so beautiful. I'm going to go to you, Devin, because like I said, I got a little weepy thing. I'm like, thanks, Mom.
It was really very touching and heartwarming. Moms care so deeply about this. Actually, most moms, I should say, care so deeply about the success of their children. And I know for my mom, whenever I, land a new job, or even on the Fumble, if I have a video that reaches 800,000 views, it means just as much, if not more, to my mom than it does to me. For me, it's like, oh, it's another day in my life. It's my job. But my mom has devoted so much of her time and her energy to making sure that I have the best pathway to success. And that's really so meaningful. And this video touched my heart so deeply. I'm really happy for him and his mom.
Yeah, my mom, like recently, just fun fact, I used to work for the Fumble. I still work for the Fumble, but I had another regular job as a part-time manager and property manager, and I hated it. Like, hated it. I used to come on here early just so I could vent to Devin and be like, do you know what happened today? Like, she'd be like, okay. But I hated it. It was just miserable to me. All I really want to do is get paid to sit around and watch sports or talk about social justice. That's the only things I really want to do with my life. And a job that I interviewed a year and a half ago, when I think I told Devin, I was like, I'm done. I don't care how much money I have. I'm just going to quit. Like the day I said that, I got this job that said, hey, we need somebody to kind of cover the community out here in Long Beach. And I'm like, oh my God. And so when I called my mom and I told her that, because usually I call my mom and be like, my job sucks, the property management job. And so that day I called her and I was like, Mom, I'm a full-time journalist. She could barely talk for like a minute and a half. She's like, oh my God, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, don't play with me. Are you serious? And I was like, Mom, you're going to make me cry. Like, it was just one of those things. It's just a beautiful thing.
Oh, my eyes are watering. I'm so happy for you too.
I know. We got lots of love. I don't know if y'all can tell, but me and Devin got lots of love flowing between the two of us. And she gets weepy, I'm going to get weepy. So we going to move on. I cannot. To be forever get these eyelashes on. I cannot. So let's move on to the next one. All right. So, okay. So look, this is going to be fun because you guys know I am a new Tom Brady fan. I am a Tampa Bay Tom fan. I am not a New England Tampa Bay fan at all. And so obviously when anybody leaves a team, the first thing you want to see is when they go back to that organization, right? So I can't wait to see Tom Brady go back to New England. I can't wait till Matthew Stafford goes back to Detroit and has to play. Like, it's one of those things that you just love to see. I think it's one of those things that you really want fans to be able to see, especially loyal fans that have been with Tom Brady the entire time he's been in the league, with the exception of last year and this coming year. Like, give these fans an opportunity to go see their former quarterback that they actually still really love. So many New England fans still have love for Tom Brady. They're still rooting for him because that's who we are as people. We fall in love with the player. These tickets, though, these are not for everybody. So when I saw this, I was like, damn, that's a lot. Read this. Cheapest tickets for Bucs Patriots in Tom Brady's return is $1,400. That is the cheapest ticket. The most expensive is $8,862 and some cents, because you got to pay like the admin fee and all that. I was mortified when I saw this. I was like, how dare you? And then it got worse because then I clicked this picture, made it bigger. And do y'all see that the $1,400 seat is in the nosebleed? Do you see that? It's like, what is happening right now? And then the $8,000 seat, okay, y'all, I better be on the field. I better be able to shake Tom Brady's hand for $8,000. But you got me, And so at first I was really pissed off about it because I was like, oh, don't get me wrong. Let me rephrase that. I'm still pissed off about it But I was like, y'all really doing this? And these fans are trying to go back and see their favorite quarterback. I had a conversation with a friend of mine and they were like, yeah, that's just how it is right now. Cause he works at a nightclub and he says, normally he works at a nightclub here in downtown LA. He says, normally to get in, it's like $10 to $15, depending on what time you go to that club. But right now it's $40 to get in. He says, because they're trying to make up the revenue that they lost when people couldn't come in. So that's my question, Devin. Are they trying to make up for the revenue that they lost, or are they just doing people dirty?
I think it's a little bit of both here because I think there obviously has been a loss of revenue, but they also know that seeing Tom Brady come face off against his former team is a high ticket event. So obviously they're going to charge top dollar because the demand is so high. People want to go and see that kind of thing. Look, if I had a spare 8,800 lying around, I would probably want to go to this. I think it would be a really fun game, pretty exciting. And I have never even been to a Patriots game or a Bucks game, actually. So I normally wouldn't even be attending this kind of matchup. But it just is interesting to see Tom Brady face off against his former team. So I think it's a little bit of both. But if I'm going to blame it on one thing, I think it's because they know the demand is so high, so they know they can charge top dollar.
I mean, if I had money just lying around like that, I wouldn't be opposed to spending that $8,000 if it was in seats like that, those box seats we saw that the Raiders are going to have, those club field seating. Okay, I'll pay $8,000 for that. I'm not paying you $8,000 to sit on a plastic chair. No, I'm not. Yeah. No, I'm not doing that. Unless Tom Brady's going to walk up to me, shake my hand, and sign something. I'm not doing that. That's a lot. And I saw Caleb asked if those were resale tickets. No. Who asked that? Oh, no. C said those are resale tickets, though, aren't they? I thought that, too. But then I went on to the NFL, and then you see the upcoming dates, and then it says buy tickets, and you click through, and it takes you to the official site. Those are the official prices. So I don't even want to know what the resale prices are. If y'all end up having to buy resale tickets, I'm going to pray for you. Because that is a lot. But and you probably could use it elsewhere, put a down payment on a car that you can drive I don't know, but just be smart with your money. If you got it like that, spend it. But here's the thing. If you got it like that, you wouldn't need to sit in the nosebleeds. So if you pay $1,400 for a nosebleed seat, let me just let you know now, you're not managing your money right. But I digress. Yep. Let me just move on to this next one. Because y'all remember the other day, I said, some of y'all clowned me because I said I almost, I had to square up on that guy who was running up on me. And y'all clowned me. I was like, okay, Jackie, whatever. This is why, because I just don't trust people. And you never know what that fast walk means. You don't know if it means like, hey, how you doing? Or, hey, you dropped your wallet. Or, hey, I'm about to knock you out. This person should have had my mindset because now you wouldn't be circling all over social media, knocked out sleep. So take a look at this.
Is now at third. Tommy Pham, who reached on an error, is at second.
I don't mean to laugh.
Field fairly shallow.
I love how the fight continues, but nobody checks on him. Your boy is asleep. He knocked out. He's concussed. Can you help him first? This is ridiculous. But there's another view which just makes it's like he got Nate Robinson. Take a look. His whole life was sucked from his soul. Bow. Oh, I'm out. That's too much. Check on your boy. Don't go for the assailant. Check on your boy. He's not okay. Why are we all laughing? Honestly, I see you. We all laughing and we all wrong. But I'm laughing with you, but we wrong.
It's very scary to watch that. As a San Diego native, I don't want to claim that Padres fan because I do not like violence. He's not part of my circle of San Diego people that I know. But you want to know, I don't know if do you have more to say about this, Jackie? Because I don't want to take away anything that you were going to add. Okay, you want to know what's very interesting about this story? The guy, the Rockies fan who was knocked out, is not pressing charges. So it makes me think that he feels he deserved it. Because if someone punched me in the face at a game, I would absolutely be pressing charges, but he's not. So what happened prior to this to make all of this go down? He obviously felt like it was justified in some way, I guess.
Look, I don't care what I said or did. You got me circulating on social media going to sleep. I'm pressing charges. I don't care. You embarrassed me. I don't care. I don't care. I might drop the charges later, but there's gonna be a headline that says Jackie Ray pressing charges, and then I'll text you, be like, my bad, I kind of deserve that, but you know, had to save face. You got me out here going to sleep in public, and I'm mad. But
oh God,
we're all gonna do better, and we're not gonna laugh at people getting knocked out, because all of us was laughing, and I appreciate y'all in the chat laughing with me because that was hilarious. But let's get into what we not gonna do, because this one, guys, I was wrong. I was 100% wrong. And Devin told me, she's like, Jackie, that's not how it's gonna go. Because you remember when Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson, he said, I'm gonna fight. He got on that whole podcast and said, even though I eat McDonald's every day, I succeed at every single thing I do. I am great at every single thing I do. And then Pac-Man Jones was like, okay, well, let's see. Let's see how good you are. And then Chad was like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do that. So I said he can't fight now. He has to refuse to fight, because now anybody he fights, he's going to look like, I knew that Pac-Man was going to beat me up. And so I wanted to fight somebody who I thought was a lesser opponent. I said he shouldn't fight because it was going to make him look bad. Chad said, I don't care. I don't care at all. So look at this. Take a look at this tweet. So this tweet is from BKFC. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, it says it right there. It's bare knuckles. So there is the bare knuckle fighting conference, and Brian Maxwell will be fighting Chad Johnson in the Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul card. So I was like, okay, and my immediate thought was, this is worse. You gonna fight somebody from the bare knuckle conference? Those people are crazy, because they just in there, and it's a lot. So I was like, this is crazy. So then you have to look up little Mr. Maxwell here. And so this is the two of them. And I was like, okay, he doesn't look as intimidating as Pac-Man does. So, okay. But I said, still, that's the bare knuckle conference. Chad should not take this fight either. He's gonna get beat up. But then I read up on your boy Maxwell, and he has only been in 3 bare knuckle fights, only 3. He has lost all 3 of those. The first 2, he was knocked out. The last one was by unanimous decision. So my boy ain't won nary a fight. And so in Chad's mind, he's like, oh, well, he can't beat other people, so he can't beat me. So I'm just going to go out here and win. Look, okay, I'll give you that. This does seem like the better fight as far as, possibly winning. But what we're not going to do is assume that a professional fighter who has lost 3 fights is an easy opponent to a guy who's never fought in a ring a day in his life. I don't know about this one. Devin, do you think Chad should have done what I said and just not fought at all? Does he look bad for taking this fight versus the other fight?
No, I don't blame him for not wanting the other fight. I wouldn't do the other fight either. And I think that this one sounds like it's going to be a little bit more of a balanced matchup between the two. So I'm not mad at him. I'm glad that he's sticking it out there, still going for it. We'll see what happens. But I like I said before, I do not blame him for not wanting that first fight.
I think he's going to get Nate Robinson now. I think that guy is going to be like, let me win at least one fight. Because now he's got more on the line too. Because not only have you lost 3 of your professional matches, if you lose to Chad Ocho Cinco, you can never fight again. That man is bringing his A game. We about to have another Nate Robinson on our hands, and I'm mad about it.
You know what? That's a risk that Brian Maxwell is willing to take, I guess.
I guess so. All right, but that's all I got for what we not gonna do.
It's Fannerfo.
All right, the moment has come. I'm so excited. Let's jump right into Fannerfo Friday. We have collected your questions, comments, chats, everything from throughout the week, and now we're answering them. Here's our guy, Suleiman. So he says, Devin and Jackie, you guys are the most hardworking people that I've seen on YouTube. Like, y'all take the day of your time out of your day, I think, to go live and communicate with us, and that's dedication right there. That's very sweet. Okay, for sure, fan of the week contention. I love that. Very nice. Suleiman, our job doesn't feel like work when we get to, first of all, talk to each other because we have so much fun, but also when we get to connect with you guys. So it means a lot that you say that and you notice the work that we put into it, but luckily we really enjoy it and we love it so much. Okay, next one. Let's see. Joshua says, man, Lakers don't need chemistry. LeBron traded his whole team in 2018, and the kid from Akron still made the finals. Jackie, I'm going to let you answer this one.
I mean, I was all for him trading the whole squad, with the exception of Brandon. I really didn't want Brandon to go, but I mean, you do what you got to do. And so the man knows what he's doing. We just got to see, how these injuries are playing out. I can tell you right now, he's not drinking Mountain Dew at all while he's rehabbing his injury. So we'll see. We'll see how this goes.
No Mountain Dew whatsoever. Don't let that commercial fool you. But hey, if it motivates you to buy some Mountain Dew for yourself, you absolutely should, because that was a well-done commercial. Okay, stay mad. Ooh, back at it again. So he says, that's effed, yo. Julio's been carrying them bum-ass dirty birds for years. That's hella disrespectful. We agree 100% on that one. It was disrespectful, especially for it to be the second time in a year. So for those of you... Right, or in 2 years, second time in a row. For those of you who maybe missed our show yesterday, Julio Jones was left out of a graphic for the team, and this is the second time that they've done that. So let us know what you think that means for his future on the team. Is this a sign that that he's on the trading block? What's going to happen? So let us know what you think in the chat. Let's move on. Liquids says, nothing makes me smile more than KD not having a ring with the Thunder.
I concur. I like this one. I like it a lot.
Is this a fan of the week contender, Jackie?
I think so.
All right, so we've got Liquids and Suleiman so far. Jesse says the refs don't want to be touched. Players are entitled to have the same perception. I think he means the same respect of their personal space. But I'm sure this was about the LaMelo situation. I still don't feel like it was that bad for the ref to reach out and prevent him from falling. I think that was just an instinctual move. Like I said, I think that LaMelo was pretty aggressive in the way he removed that guy's arm so intensely. I didn't think there needed to be that much aggression to it, but also there's a lot of aggression in the game, so I can't expect him to turn it on and off at a moment's notice. But what do you think about this comment, Jackie?
I think he's right. I think if that guy had LaMelo's mindset, he wouldn't got knocked out by that Padre fan. You got to be prepared to defend yourself. So I said that before. I'm like, I get it. It's on both sides. Like, I get the grab, but you held on a little too long. And then that's when I got a problem.
Let's move on. Next one for us, Leo. Aaron says, Julius Randle's game is very much like Zach Randolph's game in his prime. Julius has been compared to Zach often. Easy mistake? Was it easy? I don't think so, but I'm not entirely mad about it. Was it an easy mistake, Jackie?
I mean, because Zach hadn't played with the Knicks since 2008. So you had to go way back in the memory banks to pull that one out. So that's kind of hard. I don't think that's an easy mistake.
Yeah, and they do kind of look alike. We did establish that. But yeah, there's such a gap there that it's a little, I would not say it was an easy mistake. Let's get to the next one. Dejuan says, y'all cute. Ooh, you're cute. We like you. Fan of the week contender for sure. Next one. Jeremiah, he says, Jackie, how did you do anger management? It makes me more angry. Jackie said it made her more angry too.
Because I didn't feel like I needed to be in there. And then they didn't really want to address the things that were making me angry. When I said this made me angry, they would say, well, how could you deal with that better in the future? No, how could that just not happen in the future? So it was just the whole thing. But like I told Jeremiah, I got to the point where I just kind of adapted and learned how to say, okay, the next time this happens, I will do this, knowing good and full well that I had no intentions of doing that. But I said the right things so I could get out of that damn class. It was ridiculous.
I think that's a good move. Say what they want to hear. Okay, Kevin Pryor says Nets are a short-term deal. Knicks are building culture. I don't think I can argue with that very much. Can you?
I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the next one. Terrell P says, Devin Howard, me and Jackie are getting married. Are you coming? Yes, I am the flower girl. I've already been asked, so I will be there.
Can I just say, when y'all make these proposals or ask us out on a date, can you have a picture? don't just put a T in your little icon. We need to see who you are. Please and thank you. Oh, and also, if you slide in our DMs to ask us out, you need to at least be following us. Don't slide in and you end up in the restricted thing because you ain't even following me. You guys got to get your game a little better, okay? I'm here to help.
Yes, that is very helpful. Okay, Micah says, Westbrook hides his averageness behind triple doubles. He has played with KD, Harden, and PG-13 and has nothing to show for it. Russell Westbrook is not average. Like, you don't, just the triple doubles alone make him not average. So this is dumb. I don't even want to like entertain this. Let's move on. Mex Style says, good morning and / afternoon, ladies from Miami. Quick question. Who should the Nets avoid more, the Bucks, Heat, or Boston, and why? Jackie, why don't you take this one?
Okay, so who should the Nets avoid more? The Heat or I think, well, dang. I thought the Nets should try to avoid the 76ers at all costs. But, you know, so I think that's where I'm at with it. The Bucks for sure. But see, here's the thing about the Bucks. So we have to see if the Bucks are going to step up because they have typically gone missing in the playoffs. So I guess if I had to choose, and we know the Celtics are not going to be a thing because Jalen's out. So I guess if I have to choose from this list, I'll go with the Heat. But my first answer would be the 76ers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if the Bucks can keep up that same competitive edge and not go missing in the playoffs like they historically have, then the Bucks are the ones to watch. But the Heat were there last year and they know what it takes and what it's like, and they're fresh off of that finals run. So those two for sure. Celtics are out. The Celtics are out. I feel like their playoff dreams were dashed as soon as they lost Jalen. Let's get into the next one. Dazed Woozy says, what's the blue hair girl name that's talking? I was wearing a blue shirt this day. Well, it was purple, but it looked kind of blue. I don't know why. My name's Devin. I'm assuming you were talking to me. Blonde, blue, I don't know. But my name is Devin. Nice to meet you. Let's get into the next one. Jamal Lane says, for real, these women know nothing about basketball. Yeah, we're stupid.
Funny. I played for a long time, sir, but I appreciate your comment. Good try, though.
We're dumb. We have no idea. All right, you guys. Well, quick little reminder. That was the last Fannerfo comment that we have for the week. Thank you so much. We have to select our fan of the week. It was either Suleiman or Liquids. Who should it be, Jackie?
I'm going to give it to Suleiman.
Okay, Suleiman. We love you. Right? Yeah, I think that's 2 in a row. Nice work, Suleiman. And then you guys also, just as a reminder, the WNBA season starts tonight. You guys should definitely tune in. Women's basketball is fun to watch. Don't let any of the, stereotypes influence you. Definitely check it out. So it starts tonight. Very exciting. Also, we are going to be back on Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time with another live show. So make sure you subscribe, tap the bell, leave a comment below, give this video a thumbs up, and have a great weekend, you guys. We'll see you later. Bye, everyone.